So, where are the next generation of women scientists and engineers? Chances are they're in a Girl Scout troop near you. Hello and welcome to Facebook Live from the SETI Institute in Mountain View, California. My name's Simon Steele and I'm here with the Director of Education, Pamela Harman.
Hello everyone.
And we have just had the announcement that the Girl Scouts of the USA has released 42 new badges in adventure and STEM, STEM being science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And 3 of those were developed jointly by NASA and the SETI Institute. And Pamela's going to talk about those today. So Pamela, tell us how these badges were developed.
Oh, thank you, Simon. And again, hello everyone. It is really exciting news that Girl Scouts released 42 badges yesterday, 3 of which are the space science badges. The SETI Institute is the principal investigator, meaning we were the lead in the development. We worked with our colleagues at the Astronomical Society of the Pacific and ARES, which is on the East Coast, as astronomy and astrophysics and informal science experts. And then our other COIs were University of Arizona, also science experts and experts on science education. We worked with our council here, Northern California Council. We've had a 13-year relationship with that council. So they provided a pilot test troops for the badges. And then, of course, none of this happens without Girl Scouts USA because they are the national parent organization to all of the Girl Scout councils in the U.S. This has we're in, let's see, year 4. So 3.5 years ago, we began this venture. 3 years ago, we released the Daisy Brownie Junior badge, and then this summer, the Cadet and Senior and Ambassador badge, which are the older girls, junior high through high school. Their badges are out. It was a lot of working together to come up with a roadmap, science concepts, STEM outcomes, select the activities, pilot test the activities, field test the activities, make revisions, and of course make it fit the Girl Scout requirement layout because they certainly have a standard style of badge requirements, and of course language that's appropriate for all Girl Scouts.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So that's a lot of process going into a badge. But so for people who haven't been Girl Scouts or may become Girl Scouts or get involved, how do you earn a badge? What's the deal behind that?
Oh, so in Girl Scouting, K through 12, whether you're a Daisy or an ambassador, badges are earned over 3 meetings or 4 meetings. So they're not a big time commitment. And the troops have meetings that last about an hour and a half, and this is part of a meeting, and it's part of a meeting 2 or 3 times. So other than the Daisies, each badge has 5 steps and 3 options for the steps. So there's options that a girl can do by herself, there's options troops do together, there's options that use the internet, and there's options that don't. Say you're meeting outside or you're meeting in a location that doesn't have Wi-Fi, they still exist. And to find out what those steps are, the girls need one of the badge booklets. So this is one of the brand new booklets. I bought the PDF yesterday because they were available yesterday. And you follow, everything you need to know is in the booklet. The other way is to use the Volunteer Toolkit, which is the electronic platform that volunteers and older Girl Scouts can access this same content just through the Girl Scout channel.
So do we have the badges? Can we see what they look like yet? It's very, very exciting.
The badges themselves, I have ordered badges for our display. However, because they were only available for purchase yesterday. I mean, this is brand new.
This is cutting edge science.
So they're on their way. So the badges will look like these little icons here. So The cadet, which is the junior high school girls, their badges are shaped like diamonds. And you'll notice that it's got a prism and some colors. And I think girls will be, and their volunteers and members of their families and their amateur astronomers that worked with them will be surprised to find that this is just all about light. But as you know and I know, that's what we use to learn about our solar system and the galaxy and the universe is light. So there's that one. The seniors, their nomenclature is that rectangular, and so there's a galaxy and a cloud of dust around the galaxy. And then the expert, which is the ambassador, which is grades 11 and 12, they have an astronaut, and I prefer to think of an astronaut, scientist, or engineers. In addition to being part of the core, they're performing science or engineering research as they go along. So that's what they'll look like, those icons, and those who are in scouting will be familiar with that style of badge. Just for reference, these are the badges for Daisy, Brownie, and Junior. From your left, my right, is the Daisy, then the Brownie, and then the Junior badges.
Okay. And will the Daisies, Brownies, and Juniors be able to apply for these new badges as well? That is part of the scheme?
Yes, so it's by age, and so you can, as a Girl Scout, you can do all 6 if you stay in scouting all through your primary and secondary career. And they stand alone. Say a girl doesn't join scouting until she's a junior Girl Scout, she can get the junior badge, and then when she moves on, get the cadet badge. So you can either do all of them or pick and choose.
That's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how many girls actually follow it through and get the complete sets.
Oh,
that's very exciting.
It is.
Yes, yeah. So this is a way not only to learn the basics of science, but also a way to explore nature. It gives a reason to go out into the night sky and look at the stars, because that's as important to experience the world around us. So what other ways do Girl Scouts get involved in exploring the night sky?
So part of one of the steps of all of the badges is about sharing what you've learned. In science and even engineering, we know that science isn't done till you share what you've learned. And so we've included that practice in the badges. So in addition to learning about either the sun, earth, and moon, or our solar system, or exoplanets, the girls are encouraged to host star parties and get families, friends, the community involved in going outside and looking at the night sky.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, so maybe this will help. Is that better? Yeah. I think we view these badges as both STEM and outdoor badges because they are encouraged to go outside and view the night sky. And for the younger girls, for the Daisies and Brownies, go outside and look at the moon.
Yeah.
In the day and the night. Go outside and look at the shadows over the course of a couple hours. What happens to the shadows? Observe that. Take some notes. Be a scientist.
So if they did that sort of moon observation thing, they'd make notes. Then they'd report back to the leader to get assessed on how to obtain the badge. How does that work? Is it speaking as somebody who has not been a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout? So this is new to me.
Well, they do have to, if they don't complete a step within the troop meeting, observing the moon or observing shadows is a perfect example of they would go do this during the week, and then when they came back to their meeting, they would report to their volunteer leader that, yes, I did this. And by having a notebook and saying, so here are my notes, so then the volunteer in the troop setting is ultimately responsible for checking off and making sure that the Girl Scouts have completed the required steps and then giving them the badge. And older girls sometimes are in very small troops, and some girls work by themselves, and then they would share with someone how they've completed all the steps and obtained the badge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the ultimate reach of how many badges theoretically could have to be made? You know, should every Girl Scout go out and say, "I want to do this"? What's the audience here?
Oh, let's see. So there's around 1 million. Let's just say there's around 1 million Girl Scouts. Most of that, so more than half, are Daisy Brownie Juniors.
Okay.
And so it could, in principle, be tens and thousands of badges. I would get so excited if every girl in every troop completed these badges, but it's their choice, so they might not choose to do this badge. I can tell you that last fall, when the Daisy Brownie and Junior girls were first looking at the STEM badges that were released last year, over 3,000 troops at each level chose to do these badges. So that's 10, and if there's 8,000 girls in a troop, you know, that's tens of thousands of girls earning these badges last fall.
Right, yeah, and this is nationwide.
And this is nationwide, right.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
overseas. There is an overseas council for Girl Scouts that are in families that are working overseas.
Wow. How many, what's roughly the numbers of overseas participants? In the thousands?
Yes, it's in the thousands because they are in 96 countries
Wow.
or something,
Okay.
some
So
large number. They're all over.
This is a global phenomenon.
It is.
Yes. Wow. So this is an amazing way to get girls into STEM, into science, technology, engineering, mathematics, get them excited about science and seeing how that relates to the real world, to nature. Are there any other ways, any other STEM opportunities for Girl Scouts?
Well, certainly. The Girl Scouts USA has a STEM initiative that they launched a few years ago. And so last year and this year, we're really seeing the fruits of that initiative. There's cybersecurity badges, robotics, mechanical engineering, coding, and just to name some of them that are STEM, and then they've reissued, gotten back into outdoor badges, you know, archery, horseback riding, camping, survival skills, rock climbing, really emphasizing something that I know about Girl Scouting, but that a lot of girls might not have been aware of, that being outdoors and connecting with your environment is still a big part of Girl Scouting.
Yeah. So all the traditional things that you think of that Girl Scouts are involved of, plus cybersecurity. It's quite a range of opportunities. That's amazing.
Yeah, so cybersecurity is a very popular badge with Girl Scouts.
Okay. Good, and not just in Washington.
Not just in Washington, no.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's amazing. If there are any girls who are interested in joining up, becoming a Girl Scout, or any parents who are thinking that this is the way to go, any advice for them as they move forward?
Jump in with both feet. You can locate your council. Just do an internet search for, you know, Girl Scout Council, and there's tools to help you find your council. Your council will help you find the troop in your area. If you want to be a volunteer, your council has development opportunities. There's the volunteer toolkit online, which helps you be a volunteer. They have service units which organize events for troops in a certain area. So there's a lot of support structure there, and it's rewarding. I find working with Girl Scouts to be very rewarding. We have astronomy camp starting next weekend, and I'll be delivering the daytime activities related to the younger badges, because the girls that attend astronomy camp will then in turn go back and help girls in younger troops earn their badges, and helping the older girls earn their space science badges. It's very rewarding to see somebody learn something in that environment, because Girl Scouting is about learning by doing and collaborative learning. So it's not lecturing. It's, you know, they'll fumble around and struggle, and when you're struggling, that's when you're about to learn something. And to let the girls figure it out themselves, it's so rewarding to watch it, and then for them, because they figured it out themselves.
Yeah, it sounds an amazing opportunity and environment, and a way for them to think that science is actually useful. to their lives and to the world around them, and you know, hopefully take them on into science careers, and who knows, into the SETI Institute in a few years'
Yes,
time.
that's right.
You know, we'll be looking for applicants from Girl Scouts.
Well, well, it's remarkable that you mentioned it, because there are STEM outcomes for Girl Scouts. You know, STEM confidence, STEM competency, STEM interest, meaning their interest, and part of the badges, there's some career exploration. They get a chance to investigate other careers, and valuing STEM, and understanding that science, technology, engineering, and math help us every day, that it's important to us in our lives on a daily basis. You know, of course, we like space science here at the Institute, but it is around us constantly, and if to learn to value that, I think is a unique aspect of the Girl Scout STEM outcomes.
Yes, the concept of science literacy, that even if you don't go on to become a scientist or an engineer, whatever you choose to be in your life, that to have an understanding of the scientific world around you is becoming increasingly important with technology, computing, engineering, and so on. To have a concept of how that works is very, very important, so you can make decisions on that.
Absolutely. Science literacy is important to, you know, the stability of our economy, the stability of our nation, the stability of nations around the world.
And the stability of our planet, which needs all the help it can get.
Yeah, so it's, you know, so yeah, the STEM initiative in Girl Scouting is really important, and I think it has, you know, the future impacts are immense. We can't even see them yet.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. That's fabulous. Any other news on the education front at the Institute while we've got people listening in?
Well, we have just finished the face-to-face workshops for our Airborne Astronomy Ambassadors, which is the program for our astronomy, earth science, physics teachers, and they're getting ready to go on SOFIA flights this fall. NASA SOFIA is a stratospheric observatory for infrared astronomy out of Palmdale, NASA Armstrong. And I'm one of the flight facilitators. I think you're going to get to go in your role as Senior Education Director and Director of STEAM.
Yeah. So that's a very exciting program, and I'm sure we'll do another Spacebook Live on that. Maybe it would be nice to do it on the plane itself. We'll have to see how that goes.
If only there was a downlink.
Yes,
there is no downlink during the flight.
Okay, so a runway interview, yes, not in front of the plane. So good. Well, I think that's fabulous. Thank you everybody for listening in to the show. And we look forward to tuning in again, and we'll keep you updated with the education and STEM developments at the Institute. Thank you very much.
Yeah, send hearts and smiles.